And we are live here from Spa. Mad Max going to be the first one to come out here trying to set a lap. But the rest are all following. Marcel, Clixt, Efko, Dorling. Dorling and BW enter this race. Tied exactly on points. Directly behind them. Only by 7 points is Marcel, so things could get very, very interesting here. Either one of these top three could come up with the championship lead. Coming to start his first lap here will be Mad Max. Let's see what he can do. Here us getting open. Let's see. Down into turn one. Really tricky exit right there. Seems to get the power down okay. Now, Spa is the track where you really have to manage your battery in a hot lap. Some other tracks, you can push every straight full deploy if you have the power to do it and not run out of deploy. Spa, you rarely can go a full straight on full deploy. You see him shutting off his deploy a little bit over halfway through the straight. It's so tricky trying to manage it throughout the course of a lap here. Because if that runs out on corner exit, you will be substantially down on power. And that is a lap ruiner right there. But we see Max slightly wide off the apex. Overall, though, pretty neat and tidy. Overall, just seems like a very, very neat and tidy lap, especially for our first lap. You don't need to blow it out of the water, just need to put it in a banker lap here. And he is doing just that. This is very clean so far. Maybe a little bit of oversteer on exit. Nothing close to a lap ruiner though. Being able to see if any of the top drivers in the championship could beat him. This is looking like a solid lap. See that deploy going down and down, but I think he will have just enough. I think he has done this perfectly. You know, these drivers practice every little bit of this. You know, they know exactly how much they need to deploy. And he's going to come to the line with just enough. Perfect deployment right there. Impressive. A 143.7. 779. We'll see if that stays competitive. The next one to cross the line, I believe, will be Efko. Oh no, he spun! Oh, and a hard hit into the wall. He spun. Thankfully, no damage, no substantial qualifying any damage. He's lost part of that front wing, I believe. But that's, it's so unfortunate. See, Click's gonna be the next one now, going through the remnants of that spun Ferrari. Efko gonna have to get back into a new set of softs and just see what he can do. Clicks may have abandoned this lap. No, he's using deploy. It just looked like a pretty interesting exit right there. Is Dorling? He is out of deploy already. This is a horrible use of deployment right here from pretty much the championship leader. That could be really bad for him. Clicks across the line. Not even a lap. Dorling though, beautiful lap. Wow. In the front by 5/10, and that's with him running out of deploy. Just imagine if he managed to save that ERS just a little bit and have that out of the final corner. Marcel, I mean, he's only 7 points off, and he is 5 whole tenths back. That is never what you want to see. Kick is really fight. They have both their drivers fighting for the championship here, but I mean, Dorling is looking to be very, very quick at this track. See these two on an out lap. They will not be coming to the line here, but looks to be possibly a purple sector too. We know this game does like to do wonky sectors and, you know, give you a purple when you're not that fast. We'll see if FG can actually set this purple. He's completely out of battery. You know, this is unusual. You don't see people running out of battery often. Usually it's the deploy that goes, not the battery. I'm really interested to see what kind of lap time he sets with that deployment strategy. It's a good lap. Puts him P3 right ahead of Max. Next one to cross the line is actually going to the pits. That's Max, so not much to see there. After that'll be Dorling going to the pits, Marcel into the pits, and then I believe Clix is pushing here. No, he's not. He's invalidated. He is not pushing. It was an invalidation for him. We did miss it, but after that it's Jack here, and we can ride along with him. See what kind of lap time he can set. Love the way this Alpine looks. Very tough corner right there. Very easy to invalidate. Jack now had the best of the seasons. Only 12 points scored so far, but I mean, you know, could have been worse. Looking for a better result today. Right behind him, it's Ben also going for his first lap. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Ben might be making his first start. I don't know. Across the line now, Jack. A little bit of oversteer, loss of traction on exit, and he puts it P5, last of the cars that have set a lap so far. Not what you want to see, but it's only lap 1. He can still improve. And it's P3 for Ben. Good lap right there. Slotting about 7/10 off his teammate. Looking to be a clear divider between the top two right there. Which is shocking because, you know. Oh, I don't know why I said Ben's first race. That's BW. That's my mistake. BW though, I mean, tied for the championship with Dorling. I mean, you gotta think, you know, he must have made a mistake on this lap. This can't be his raw pace. For his sake, you would hope it's not his raw pace, but for lap 1s, I think Dorling is in a very, very comfortable situation here. It's looking like he's in a class of his own. We see Max going out on another outlap, Marcel going out on an outlap. All these people on outlaps right now, I would say, are most likely going for a 3-run. And most likely the people still in the pits are going to just try the 2-run strategy. I think the 3-run is very viable here. I don't think you have much use for the softs here. Unless you get a, you know, a good time safety car, but I think it's most likely going to be a medium hard race, if I had to guess. I believe the only car on the lap right now is FCO. Let's see. Hard braking corner here. Really need to utilize that green curb on the apex right there. You can hear those tires locking up. Just fighting that Ferrari a little bit. Looks to be maybe not a lot of confidence in that car. Maybe fighting with traction a little bit, something. Not seeing much confidence here. And is BW going for another lap? I believe BW is going straight out for another lap. So this right here tells me that maybe he made a mistake on that lap and he's going straight out for another one. Saved up that battery, put enough fuel in for 2 runs maybe. And Dorling is going back out along with Marcel. Marcel about to start his lap, so both of those guys are most likely going to go for a 3-run here. Already out of deploy, not what you want to see. That number 13 car is going to be slow, and oh! Oh, the mistakes just keep coming here for Hefco on these hot laps. That's going to be, yeah, dead last. The mistakes just, yeah, I mean, yeah. He just keep making these slight mistakes, but they're so costly. They're so costly. Such a hard corner to get traction out of. I understand that, definitely. BW now. Definitely wanting to improve. That was a shocking lap from him in a bad way. But he's down. No, he's actually... He's not improving right now. He's barely not improving on his time. So it's looking like those tires just don't have it in them. He's out of deploy. Is he going to pull it in the pits? Late call to pull into the pits right there, but he gets it in. Invalidation for Mad Max, so he will not be finishing this lap. And Marcel, he's also pretty much identical with his time. Now it got me wondering, you know, is this track just getting worse? Let's see what these other drivers can do. The Haas of Thomas has yet to set a lap. A 1:16.7 through the middle sector. We'll see what he can do. He's oh no, already out of the deploy this early into the straight. Now this is what happens when maybe some drivers didn't practice. Oh, and he invalidates it to a full flat out speed corner. Interesting. And look at this. This is much, much better ERS management from FCO here. In fact, almost a little bit too much. I think maybe he just didn't put enough. He was boxing either way. Hitting the wall a little bit. I don't think he's enjoying this qualifying session very much. Dorling, and for the sake of both kicks, they have to hope he is not improving on his time. Look at all that deploy he has left. He's gonna dump that. Oh no, he's in the box. Maybe he was out on scrubs. Who knows? FG has a little bit of deploy. Gonna pop that out of the corner, get that little bit of extra power. He's gonna run out right to the line. No improvement. Makes you think, is the track worsening possibly? Is it getting slower? Or are these drivers just not finding the improvement? Just under 5 minutes to go now. If this qualifying pace is real, then we're shaping up to have a good battle between the top two. But BW seemingly very uncharacteristically not in the fight for this pole hunt. And he's a whole second off his teammate. Not what you are used to seeing from a championship contender. And I think Marcel, coming to the box here. This is 100% on a push lap. Soon we will see drivers enter out for their final runs. Some of the more cautious drivers you will see going out right now. They'll probably be taking about 3 laps in. So any mistake, they can get back out there. Try to do it again. Mad Max, now setting a lap here. He might just, oh no, he is saving, so it's most likely an in-lap here. He might just have enough time to get back in. It'll be close. Thomas, this is that lap. This will be his final run. So Thomas is the first people out, I believe, that is committed to being their final run already. The only person out, I believe, about to do a lap. I don't believe FG is on a lap here. I believe he's going to find the pit road. The Aston Martin of Clixt yet to set a lap. He's going to finally get a lap in. No deploy, though, to the line. He's going to jump still behind the Ferrari. Had that big slide. And they are both respectively 3 seconds or 4.5 seconds off the nearest car. Not a good day for the 2 lone drivers in their teams. Not what you want to see if you're their team principal. Whenever you don't have your teammate, you really have a lot of stress on you to carry the weight of your entire team, trying to score those points for the constructors title. But sometimes that pressure can get to these drivers. And number 47 car Flix just not finding that pace. Hopefully he can get to the pits. As you can see, these drivers will most likely still be pushing their tires even on an in lap, trying to make it to that pit road. I don't think it's gonna happen for Clix. I think he is done. Yeah, see, going off, he's pushing so hard, but I don't think he'll get there. As Thomas just gets to the pits, I think Thomas is just gonna have enough time to get it going again. And yeah, Clix will be the first person to won't be done with qualifying, and it's looking to be, unless Thomas doesn't get a lap in here, it's going to be dead last. If Thomas can get a lap, that's better. Everyone on their outlaps but Max. This is where the fun begins. A yellow flag for the Alpine. Is that just slow? Is he just going slow, trying to maybe let our driver? Yeah, he's trying to extend the gap to FCO. Okay. Once that timer hits, over that 142 mark, these drivers won't have enough time to make it back to the line. So, and we can't see the timer because the yellow flags is out right now. Yeah, and it's under, so he is going to stay on these tires. You gotta assume he made a mistake if he's 3 seconds off, so I'm assuming he's just gonna go out there and try to correct that mistake. Unfortunately, though, on scrubs, you just will not find that grip. Thomas is not even gonna have a close to enough time to get out and get a lap. You know, he would say, you know, he did something crazy like cut all the corners, you know, he would not be close enough. This is going to be qualifying over. Maybe took my advice a little bit too literally. Thomas, though, unfortunately, is going to end this qualifying session in last, I believe. He will not get there in 1 minute. He's going to have some work to do in the race, for sure. Now, the first to... Oh, launching it through the grass. Whatever you do, don't run into click. First to start their times now. It will be FCO. Then Jack. Falling down would be Dorling. And then the two kicks. Now, is BW here gonna get a toe off his teammate? It's risky because that toe is going to be so effective on the long straight. But then that dirty air problem that plagues these cars is going to hurt so much to the high-speed corners. He might just be far enough away to where he won't get that dirty air, but he will not also get a toe. Look to be a major snap of oversteer from Marcel right there. That could be a lap ruiner. Maybe just too low on the brake bias. I think now this might be a lap. He might just be. His goal might here just might, you know, give his teammate slipstream because that might be a lap ruiner. We'll see what his time is in Sector 1. Yeah, no, he's 2.5 tenths down. He would need to pull something legendary out of the box if he wanted to get this done. FCO. He's only half a tenth up. I mean, he did lose most of his time in the final corner, so just on the edge of track limits. That was beautiful from the number 13. Dorling has abandoned his lap, and this is the door blown wide open for BW. Marcel is not on a competitive lap, I don't think. BW could steal pole if he could find the pace here. But provisionally, it's going to be Dorling. To the line. FCO. It's a solid lap to get him into P7. I don't know if either of the kick drivers up on their time. Mad Max, all these drivers finishing their times. No one improving that much. But now, the battle for pole is going to come to an end right here. Did Marcel pull something magical out of the box? He would need about 4 tenths if he wanted to jump Dorling, with that being 2.5 tenths down. He didn't find it. BW to the line. He couldn't do it either. FG, the final one that could spoil the Mercedes party. He's going to bump Mad Max down, but Dorling, with all he needed was 1 lap, and he's done. He's put it on pole. What a lap. And what a qualifying session. I'm sure the championship leader will be thrilled with that. The 2-time winner so far this season. Won Bahrain and last week's race. On pole by 1.74 over Marcel, and then BW. You gotta think, you know, you gotta hope for his sake that something went amiss on that lap. 1 second off is not what you want to see as a championship contender. FG doing very well to stay really close to, you know, tied for the championship leader. Only being P7 in the standings with, you know, 42 points. Really impressive run for him. You know, since no one above him in the points showed up, if he gets a good run, he could snag P4 in this championship from right under, you know, Hype's nose, because these drivers aren't here. And yes, this will be a rain-affected race. Okay. This will be a rain-affected race. I did not know that. Interesting. Now, it looks like intermediate condition. Maybe these drivers are going to try slicks. I don't know how wet it is. We cannot tell how wet it is from this camera. We don't know if it's going to be light rain for a little bit. This is going to be interesting. You can just tell maybe those drivers are on slicks. I don't know if I can see grooves on those tires. These drivers might be on slicks. I am looking forward to this. The formation lap underway. All these drivers on Inter, so I was wrong. I wonder what the weather will be for the rest of this race. Formation lap underway. All these drivers scoping out the weather, trying to get a feel for how wet it is. It doesn't look that wet. In all honesty, it does not look that wet. we have to wonder, will this race, go to the end in these conditions? Maybe we'll see a change. I think we have not seen all the pace out of BW this race. I think, I think he just maybe made a mistake on both his qualifying laps, and he could pull something out here. Maybe, that team just didn't get the right setup under the car, but it's looking like with that strategy, it's going to be rain all the way. It's still predicting a one-stop, so these drivers will not be able to push it all the way on inters. It'll still be a one-stop. We will still see pit stops. Only 9 cars on the grid. We probably won't see a safety car. Everyone is guaranteed points if they finish, though, so that's a plus. These drivers getting ready to grid up. Getting ready to get the green flag. Now this grid slot is important. If they screw this up, they could be put back. Dorling is coming off a 3-race podium streak and fast lap streak, though. He is hot off these races. If he raced in Canada, he won Bahrain the race before Canada, where he did not race in. Looks like all these drivers got a pretty solid grid positioning. No one pushed back in their box, it seems like, not a single person. The rest of these drivers gridding up. No one pushed out of their box. Here we go. See that Aston Martin all the way skewed in the back. Here we go. 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here from Spa. Dorling gets an amazing launch. He's going to absolutely gap all the cars behind him. But behind, a huge move. Oh, the Aston Martin straight into the side of BW. Click just threw it into that corner. He hit everyone. It's a nightmare start for BW. He's down 3 spots off the first corner. This could not have gone worse for your championship tie leader. It's a nightmare start. He got dive bombed from all the way back. Clicked is up 3 spots, but I have to imagine the stewards are going to be looking at that and possibly dishing out a penalty for that, because that was utterly ridiculous. An insanely aggressive move. I doubt he will not get a penalty for that, but Dorling still leads by 5/10 over Marcel. Best time to get a move done is early. BW getting backed around Clicked. He's got some work to do now. If we... Oh, off in the back goes Mad Max. He went right off. That's going to put him all the way down to last. No, he was doing very well in that top 5. He is still within good slipstream. He can make this way back up, but that is not what you want to see. BW already recovered back up to P4. It's been a great start for FG, putting himself in a podium place. He is off his second podium this season last week, so can he repeat that P3 finish? Or better, possibly. And Dorling is already gapped to Marcel. Not even a lap in, he's already broken the 1 second mark. There will not be DRS because we are in wet conditions. The Ferrari and the Alpine battling. The Alpine possibly getting pushed off. He's very slow. The Haas of Thomas going around the outside. Oh, all the way off track. Max, what a move. He might have to get that back, though. He may have passed off track. Something going on wrong for Jack right there. Very slow. And Clicked is just getting swallowed up by all these cars behind him. FCO and Click going to be side by side to turn 1. Nice clean racing here. FCO is struggling with that traction on exit. He's been struggling with that the whole race. That's how he lost his first qualifying lap. The more he does that, the more he's going to burn up those rear ups, because this is, right on the cross between dries and inters. Again, off goes Max. The more he does that, though, the hotter his tires are going to get. It's going to be hard to cool off your tires in mixed conditions like this. Thomas, slipstream, trying to go down the inside. Late braking from FCO. Can he hold it? What a defense from FCO. Insanely late braking. Very impressive. I can't believe he held that. That was incredible. And a little bit of door, side pod banging. More contact, front wing to wheel from Max and Thomas. Max driving off once again. They're still battling. Max not willing to give up. More contact, side by side, wheel to wheel. This is a tough corner to go side by side through. Someone's got to give. No one's going to give, and Max is going to get his way in the end. A little bit off goes Efko. We've seen how late he can brake compared to these other drivers. A little bit deep goes Click. This is for a top 5 right here. Click is slow through the middle of that corner. Efko, there's no way to get through in this middle sector. Such a hard sector to pass in. Very wide. That's going to open the door for Max. No, he's not able to get his way through. We're seeing amazing racing in the back here. The slipstream now. No one able to make a move with the Ferrari, gets pushed off, and here comes Max! Max trying to get a double overtake in one straight. A little bit wide, but he's going to try to push the Aston a little bit wide on exit, and he does! He's done it! The Ferrari spun! The Ferrari spun the traction issues that have been plaguing him. They come to bite once again. Thomas now going for a move on Click. Click falling all the way back to where he was almost at the start of the race. Thomas not able to make that move stick. Max is showing to be, he's letting out his aggressive side this race. He has been going for some of the most aggressive moves, but at the front now, Marcel. He is not letting Dorling drive away with this. He knows that if he makes this overtake, he will gain. Granted neither of them get fastest lap. They will be tied. I believe it's a 7-point gap from P1 to P2. He's down by 7 points. Assuming neither of them get fastest lap, they will be tied if he wins this and Dorling gets second. Now, if he gets fastest lap in doing that, he will take the championship lead, I believe. Dorling extending that gap just a little bit more. Click's trying to stay with Thomas in the back. The field getting more spread out as we go here. No major contact or wrecks we have seen so far. A little bit of argy-bargy we've seen, but not much. We saw Max and Thomas having some, contact through Poulan, but... And DRS will be enabled. The stewards have said it's dry enough. This is not just a lap 2 thing. It's lap 3 coming on lap 4. This is because apparently the track has become dry enough to enable this, and there's been a spin in the back. Clicked has gone off. And after that shocking turn 1 dive, it's all falling apart for this guy. Just all the way back now to the last. I mean, I'm sure all the BW fans are going to be thrilled to see that. Speaking of BW, in the box, we see 2 boxers now. FG, BW, Max, Jack, Thomas, everyone in the back's boxing. Are they going to put on slicks? They're doing it. They're going to put on hards to the end. Now Marcel and Dorling, the rain has nearly stopped. The top 2 have stayed out. This could be race changing for the top 2. This could give FG the provisional lead. Is the track ready for slicks though? That's the question. Is it ready? BW will be delighted that Marcel didn't pick, because that double stack could have been bad. We'll compare the sectors of these drivers. We'll see which tire is performing better. Looking by the interval, I think FG's gaining time on that hard tire. I don't know, it's close. I think they are right on the crossover. I don't think we can tell yet. No, we can tell. That hard tire is better. He's already gained 2 tenths in just a few sectors. These top 2 are going to be throwing it into pit road here at a moment's notice. Wow, and these 2 just got unlucky. Look at Marcel throwing the car around, doing everything he can, trying to catch Dorling. He knows that if he wants to take the championship lead, he needs to win this race. Or else he'll drop another 7 points to Dorling, making it 14th. He'll be down. We're starting the second half of the season with this race. I think FG's going to take the lead of this race. And both these drivers into the box now, just as we thought. No driver scoring penalties so far, no speeding penalties, none of that. No pit stop issue for Dorling. Maybe a slightly slowed release there. Caution's going to come out. The Ferrari spinning. Oh, and off in the back goes Clicked. No damage on that Ferrari. No threat of VSC or a safety car. And now the race out of pit road, though. FG! Dorling, who's gonna get it? They're both gonna come out just in front of him, but those hards are gonna be fired up, and on the hards goes Marcel. Does he think he can push the on the mediums? Sorry, does he think he can push those mediums to the end? This is gonna be interesting. Both the kicks, the Ferrari and Max are all thinking they can push mediums to the end here. It's a bold call. I don't know if that's the right call. A safety car in about 7 laps time would absolutely be wonderful for them when their tires are starting to fall off, but it is a bold call. I'm assuming Marcel wants to push into DRS, pass him and maintain the race pace, but Dorling has more battery right now. But those mediums are definitely gripping up. You can see he's gaining time. FG played this strategy perfectly. He's put himself in a position where, if those top two have any contact, he can win this race. VW 5 seconds behind the nearest cars. Just it's been a nightmare start for VW, and he will see his championship lead surely be gone after this race. He will fall to P3 most likely, bar some incredible circumstances. He'll drop to P3 in the standings after this race, coming in tied to P1. Next week, though, we do have the Temple of Speed, Monza, and there's been another incident in the back. Max, that corner is catching everybody off guard. Multiple people going off in that corner. No damage, it seems like. He gets past, though. That end of Sector 2 is catching so many drivers off guard, and Marcel is in the DRS range. Marcel's there. Look at that traction difference. Marcel just able to get the power so much better than Dorling can. Surely he's going to be in attacking distance in a lap or two. We see side by side here. The Alpine, I think, maybe letting Max by, playing chicken for DRS possibly. And the Aston Martin, the Ferrari battling. What a beautiful crossover there from Clicked. Ferrari just struggling for traction. The Ferrari able to stay with him even with the DRS, helping the Aston Martin. Try to stick it on the inside. Doesn't have the traction, as we've seen. He's going to have DRS though. And Max did get past the Alpine. And he stayed in front of the Alpine actually. Alpine did not get in front with DRS. Marcel, he's going to have this dirty air through this fast sector. Through Pouan, dipping a tire in the grass. Very hard to nail the apex in that corner. You'll see a lot of drivers dip tires in the grasses. We see FCO getting past Clicked. That is a done move. Barring something happening. FG's already dropped about 3 seconds. These front two are in a league of their own. Marcel needed to come into this race and assert that he's a championship contender, with being 7 points off. And he's done just that. He's making sure no one counts him out. This has been a beautifully played strategy if he can take the lead. I'm assuming he will. He will most certainly take the lead down the Kemmel Straight here. Maybe not on the main straight, but down the Kemmel Straight he will definitely take it. That's fast lap of the race. I doubt that will be beat for the rest of the race. Jack also probably setting up a move on Max here. Most likely also down the Kemmel. Marcel, he won the opening race of the season, but then had some not great races after that. Just hasn't had the pure winningness that Dorling has had, or the pure consistency that VW has had. And Click's the first driver to get penalties. And he has not gone down the Kemmel. You'll surely start to feel that tire wearing soon. So, he has got to get a hurry up on. He has got to get this move done fast, because those tires are going to be wearing now. Jack also not able to get a move done. See Dirty Air just absolutely killing Marcel through this sector. It's so hard to follow in these cars, dipping tires to the gravel. I'm sure those worn out mediums will not be helping him. If I was Marcel, I mean, he's the one in the car, and maybe it was a last minute, not really a last minute call to pit, but Maybe it was a last-minute strategy just he had to do something aggressive, but he clearly has the pace to compete with Dorling. I don't think he needs to pull something, aggressive out to try and fight for this win. I think now he's just putting himself at a handicap because mediums can't go for that long. Dorling just up to fast lap of the race on hards. Marcel is clearly struggling on those mediums. I think he might be too far back to get a move down the Kemmel here, so we're going to stay with Jack and Max. Going for a P5, both of these drivers. I don't think Jack has had a top 5 this season. DRS on. Gonna go around the outside, getting really pushed into the grass. He had room to move back. Oh! And Max completely outbrakes himself straight into Jack. Wow. And it's all setting off now in the midfield. FG getting a 3-second time penalty. That will not matter. It won't drop him a spot. BW obviously struggling with something. Still 8.5 seconds back in his own little bubble. And Marcel has dropped DRS, as I thought. Those mediums are going to be screaming. And surely Mad Max will be looked at by the stewards after this race for that incident. Looks like he just outbroke himself. I think Jack had more space to get off the grass. I think he just maybe was trying to make sure Max didn't hit him, so he stayed in the grass for longer, but he definitely could have got back on the track. It was interesting for him to stay out there. A few laps out from being halfway through this race. Marcel has pushed his battery to get back in the DRS range. Look at that. They are almost on identical batteries, but he's going to have to do something massive. And I believe this is Max letting by Jack for what happened. I may possibly for DRS, but if I had to guess, it's him, apologizing. Doing a gentleman maneuver right there, letting someone he hit through. He's going to have a easy overtake though with DRS through the Kemmel. Jack's only saving grace is his battery. I don't think he's going to deploy that much. He's still harvesting. He's going to cede the position to Max. Max still on those mediums. Max proving those mediums, they can still work. Putting up consistent and competitive lap times against Jack in that Alpine. This is pretty much our only battle on track right now. And Max completely pulling out of the way to let Jack through. Is this DRS chicken again? This is very interesting tactics here from Max, just constantly letting him body at DRS. One of these times you gotta wonder, will he do that, not realizing these mediums are worn out, and will he lose DRS in doing that? 7/10. I doubt he'll make that up, just in the Kemmel shirt alone. And, Jack doesn't have a ton of battery. He's deploying right now. With Max deploying, I think he will get back. Caution's going to come out. There's been a spin. It's the Ferrari. There is damage to that Scuderia. And the miserable race gets even worse for AFCO. You got to feel for him. Seeming to be on what looks like controller. And, as a controller racer myself, it's tough. That traction on this new game is interesting to figure out. And once you get these tires hot, it's tough to cool them back down. I'm assuming he's gonna have to be stuck running with hot tires for the majority of this race. Max not able to find his way through. These two are showing really good speed for where they are. Marcel is dropping even more time. Those mediums have fallen off, and you know, without a safety car, this race might be a done deal, barring Dorling, you know, spinning out or something interesting happening like that. Max is dropping time, just like Dorling. Just like Marcel. Those mediums, I think they're finished. He's harvesting battery, trying to go for maybe one last move, but Jack has some battery left. He's officially dropped out of DRS range. He's got to shut off that harvesting. You gotta get to it with ERS here. He's finally deploying, but he's got 5/10 to make up. Clicks gets another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds he's accumulated now. Oh, was that a planned pit stop? I believe it was. So Max trying to almost beat him. Oh, wait, has there been an issue? Oh, no. Okay, so Ben and Max are trying the two-stop. Oh, and it's a very, very... Oh, no, that's just a visual glitch. Alright, I see how it is. See how it is, Codemasters. Alright, Max and BW trying a two-stop. Interesting strategy. You know, BW has about 10 seconds he needs to make up to Jack if he wants to retain his P4 here. Who knows? And Marcel may have just dug his grave with putting on these mediums. Now he'll have to box. He'll be put, you know, maybe 10 seconds behind FG. You know, that 3 seconds will be cut out of that. But Marcel's running about 1.5 seconds slower than his best lap time, so you know, that's how far this drop-off is going. FCO also in the pits. He could be getting lapped soon if he's not careful. One more spin like that, he'll be a lap down. And completely out of the road now. He's bound two in a league of their own, but not in a good way. And we had weather play a factor in the very beginning of this race, so we got to see, you know, who would have been the best in the rain for a few laps, and it looked like Marcel had the you know, leg up on Dorling in that weather, but just not enough time in that weather to make any moves. I'm sure BW will come out of this race feeling very, very what's the word, upset at a certain Aston Martin driver, because I think he still would have retained his P3 in turn 1 if he hadn't been hit. You know, we don't know what happened to Click. Maybe, you know, he had a issue, brake failure, maybe got hit, but we have to assume that he just missed his braking zone. As all the battles on track cease right now, BW clearly is pushing. He'll be catching Thomas in a moment, so once he catches Thomas, we'll have a battle. Most likely won't last long. BW showing much better pace on those fresh hards. Matter of fact, let's take a look at everyone's tire life here. You can see, you know, the entire bottom 4 in the stains all on fresh tires. Everyone above are on the older tires. And as I suspected, BW closing right up DRS range now on Thomas. As did I miss a pit stop? Yes. Marcel forced a pit. You know, he stayed out for as long as he could, hoping for a safety car, I assume. He never did get that, so now it's a race taking 9 seconds and 10 laps on FG. Pretty much 6 with that penalty. Very doable. I think Marcel will still come home with P2 today, but Dorling will extend his championship lead. And another 3 seconds for FG, and that's really not good. That almost guaranteed Marcel passed him now. He only needs to gain 2.4 seconds in 10 laps. Very doable. BW will be getting held up here by Thomas now. In this situation, he needs to stay calm though, because, you know, we see what happens when you go for an aggressive move into Puan. Not a usual overtaking spot, but with that extra grip, it'll be smooth sailing for him. Track limits, thing of the past. You know, for race sake, wow. You know what? For race sake, I was going to say we need something big to happen. This is big. Dorling, I thought they would try to push these hearts to the end. No, they couldn't bring the hearts to the end. And now Marcelo just gotten the undercut of a lifetime. Now he needs to show what he can do. 1.8 seconds. 1.7, he's got that overspeed from, you know, actually being on track instead of pits. This was the big thing that needed to happen. Apparently everyone still needs to make that stop. Dorling he put on the hards again. He did not put on mediums. This is a crazy call from the strategy team. Double hards. He didn't even take advantage of the medium tires. Marcel may have just played this absolutely perfectly. He needs to run perfect lap times now. Any little mistake will bump him out of contention for this one. He needs to get into DRS range, and now. They've got almost equal battery. Marcel is pouring his battery into this. You can see he is absolutely full push right now. 1.2. 1.25. 1.2 flat now. Marcel is flying right now. He's almost 1.5 seconds up on his best lap set with mediums. Marcel is pushing like his life depends on it. He knows he needs this DRS and he needs it now. 0.05, he's in the DRS. This kick has better top speed. I think his car is set up for higher top speed. His only issue, he is completely out of battery, but he's done it. He's pushed himself into DRS range. Amazing driving from Marcel that lap. He's been knocked back out though. It's been really bad traction out of that corner. He's knocked back out of DRS. Luckily for him, the DRS zone is late into the straight. He needs good traction. He needs to apply that power. He needs to apply that battery. He's out of battery. He's still got DRS. BW picked up his 3-second time penalty. He's out of battery though. They're both completely out of battery. This is incredible. Thomas into the box. A little bit wide off that apex. Gap just a second. That one lap of tire difference might just come into effect here. Marcel, it's past lap. That's an extra point. If he wins this race, he will take championship lead by one singular point over Dorling, I believe. With that fastest lap point. He is dropping time though. And Click picks up another time penalty. One more of those, he will be put behind FCO. And Marcel, the gap is dropping. You know, I think he has fun. He gave it all he had. Just that one lap of tire difference, and Dorling is just faster in the dry. It seems like only advantage. He got slightly more battery. Never gonna be enough though. He was too far back. He had to push his battery too far. He probably needs to undercut by, you know, maybe 1-2 more laps if you want any shot at getting there. With how hard it is to overtake with that DRS at Spa, if he just could have sat in front and then, you know, harvested enough during the middle sector and deployed all in the straight with his higher top speed, he could have won this race. He'll You know, if he doesn't win this race, if he never gets shot at DRS again, he'll probably look back at that and, you know, next race, Monza, all about DRS. Less opportunity to save, but still, all about DRS. Although, you know, I believe we're going to see the lapping of F-Coat here before the end of this race, so... You know, these drivers are obligated to remove themselves from the path of the leaders the second they see a blue flag, as soon as possible, I should say. But, you know, there's no guarantee. You know, even dirty air, that could cost just 6/10 of Dorleen, you know. Bizarre things have happened. And if Marcel keeps doing that, he's going to pick himself up a penalty and end his shot at winning this race. His chances are already dwindling, that gap increasing. That one lap of tire life is starting to bite him. Coming back to 6 laps to go. Only upside again, more battery. You know, 20 for Dorleen, 32 for Marcel. The closest battle on track is, you know, you're looking at it. This is the closest 2 cars on track, which is shocking. We're just not seeing very close battles here. The gap is only increasing here. Marcel just not showing that pace. The tire's wearing, he's not showing that pace to catch him, unfortunately. All Dorling has to do now is to keep it clean because 1 3-second time penalty and this race is back up for grabs. I will say one thing though, I believe this will put Marcel just in front of his teammate BW, upgrade him to 2nd in the point standings. Huge, huge lockup. With the fastest lap bonus, yeah, they will be, they will be tied, I believe. Him and his team will be tied going to Monza, if he can keep this fastest lap bonus, which he currently has by about 9/10. So, you know, he's doing fine in that. Five laps remain here. And actually, you know what? I don't think we will see lapping this race. You know, there is always a chance. You know, the Aston Martin or the Ferrari have a little spin. But on pure pace, I don't think they will make up this gap. Eyeballing it, it looks roughly about 7 seconds. No, even more than that. It's about 10 seconds probably. Yeah, about 9-10 seconds looks like so. In 4 laps, that'll be tough. The gap's down to 3. The gap's up to 3 seconds. Yeah, Marcel is throwing in the towel. He knows there's nothing he can do on pure pace. He had his about 1 lap time where he could have pushed when Dorling was still getting the tires heated up. That time has passed. There's, you know, no shot he can make up this time on old tires. They're older tires. They haven't got on board some through Eau Rouge and Radion. So 4 laps remain. Even if he has made it a bit boring, Dorling has absolutely dominated this race, and he has earned this win. I mean, he has led, qualified on pole. He's led every lap of this race. This is pure domination. And Marcel, just to put the final nail in the coffin, picked up that 3-second time penalty through Pouan. And that'll all but end the race. Dorling can coast as he's got practically a 6.3 second gap. He can save up some battery and maybe push for the fastest lap, just take that 1 extra point away from Marcel. Now we could see a fight here for P8. Not really, Clicks has 9 seconds worth of penalties, but Andy's gonna throw it in the box. In the wall, possibly going for softs. If I had to bet softs, maybe fast lap attempt, something. He would get put a lap down. This is probably consolation. I think if he wants to, Marcel could box for softs for one big final push. Given he has a 3 seconds less than FG, he could box and pull that off, and just to secure his fastest lap. It's gonna be close. 3 laps. That gap's close for about 4 seconds. I think Dorling is going to catch FCO. I think he is going to lap him on track. Now, I think FCO obviously knows what he has to do. He has to get out of the way instantly. But, there's always that chance. Maybe he has a traction slip up and he spins in front of Dorling. It'd be very unfortunate, but we're coming back to 2 laps to go here after this lap. I'm sure all the Marcel fans would love to see FCO have a major role in deciding the outcome of this race. And Dorling has just been excellently managing his tires throughout this race. I mean, he has shown the least tire fall off out of anyone. I mean, only a second down his tires after a full 6-lap run is, that's good tire wear. And yes, he will catch a Ferrari here. Ferrari already getting blue flags, I'd imagine. He will most likely get out of the way through the Kemmel. Ghosting is on, actually. Did not realize that, so he will not have a chance to play in effect. And yes, he will be getting out of the way. And there goes that. 2 laps to go now for Dorling. And, rather shockingly, Dorling started off this season after, he was an underdog. Dorling started off the season as somewhat of an underdog here. He made a real comeback recently to overtake both the kicks in the standings and, get the championship lead. He's tied with the most wins with DJ, who is not here today, I believe. DJ, he's only run 2 races and he's won both those, so if he ran every race, he would absolutely be a championship contender. Along with Pipes, he's only ran 4 races and he's gotten second in 3 of those, and DNF in the other one, so And there's been an incident. The Ferrari had a spin, too late to cause any safety cars or VSC, so that will not come into effect. And wow, this is big. BW with his 3-second time penalty might lose P4, and he might lose P5. He might drop 2 positions because of his penalty here. He's gonna drop to max no matter what here. But taking the final lap is Dorling in a picture-perfect race. But BW will surely get overtaken by Max with penalties here. Now, Jack will have to do some work in only about 1 more lap if he wants to make a move here, but it is definitely possible. And this is just this is worst case scenario for BW this race. He entered this race tied for the championship. He's going to leave this race not even second, I think. I think he's going to drop to 3rd. This could not have gone worse for BW. Wow. FCO a minute behind the nearest car. And Dorlane, with this, he will cement himself. 1, with this race he entered, he put himself with the most poles so far in the season with 3. And now, he'll get his 3rd win, converting every single pole to a win, I believe. And he'll extend his most podium streak up to 5. This has just been an impeccable race, I mean. This has been absolutely picture perfect. He qualified on pole. He led start to finish. Through the rain, through the dry, through the pit stops, never once got past. Dorlane out of the final corner is going to win his 3rd race and extend his championship lead into this next half of this season. Dorlane wins. Marcel with a good P2. He'll be happy with that. And FG. I think everyone expected, you know, BW, Marcel, Dorling to be filling up these podium spots. FG, not even in the top 5 in the standings, said no, and he's going to take his 2nd podium finish. No, sorry, his 3rd podium finish of the year. 2 P3s in a row. He's got to be happy with that one. To the line, BW. He will not be holding on to this P4. And this has been a nightmare race. Still a top 5, I believe, but it's still a nightmare race for BW. Will he hang on to the P5 over Jack? I think he will. Jack seems to be pretty happy about that P6 right there. Max P4. Great job for Max. Most people up. Only people that dropped were BW and then the Ferrari. And then obviously Gucht. Great job from Thomas too. He'll be the last one to cross the line. Thomas, good P7. Up 2 spots, no qualifying lap. Solid come-out drive from him. Best of the 2 back markers that were struggling all race. With that win though, the Mercedes driver of Dorling extends the championship lead over Marcel and BW. A 3rd win on the season. That one's gotta feel good. It's now it's 2 wins in a row and 4 podiums in a row. He couldn't convert to a 4th fastest lap in a row. Still though, an incredible result. Gotta be one of the most dominant races, if not the most dominant race of the season. Just utter brilliance from the Mercedes driver. And that is going to be it. Thank you for watching this broadcast. And next week we go to Monza, the Temple of Speed. Hopefully, you know, we can see a good battle for the win there, but be sure to tune in. LGTS signing off for this week. Monza next week. Thank you for watching.